Hello everyone, in this video we are going to talk about different kinds of animal tissues. So this video is made by Aashutosh Singh. So first let's talk about what are tissues. Okay, so in simple terms, a tissue can be described or defined as a group of cells with similar shape and function. They are called tissues. They form a cellular organizational level, intermediate between the cells and organ system. Organs are created by combining the functional groups of tissues. So that means cells make up tissues, tissues make up organs, organs make up organ systems, and all the organ systems together help the body to perform different functions, and it together makes up the human body or body of any individual. Now let's talk about types of tissues. So there are some types of tissues. First is connective tissue, then it is muscle tissue, nervous tissue, epithelial tissue. We will study about them. The collection of tissues joined in structural units to serve a standard function, or the collection of tissues are joined in a structural units to serve a standard function of organs. So like I told, they form organs by combining together and forming a structural unit. So the primary purpose of these four types of tissues differs on depending on the type of organism. In this we are going to talk about humans. For example, the origin of cells comprising a particular tissue type also differs. Okay, so this means that the origin of cells of us, the origin of the cells of a particular tissue has different cells. Now let us now talk about connective tissue. So connective tissue is what? They are a group of tissues made up of cells separated by non-living material, called as an extracellular matrix. This tissue provides shape to the different organs. This is its function. It provides shape to different organs and maintains their positions. For example, blood, bone, tendon, adipose, ligament, and alveolar tissues. These are some examples and types. There are three types of connective tissue: fluid connective tissue, fibrous connective tissue, skeletal connective tissue, and now we will talk about functions of connective tissue. So the connective tissue functions by providing shape and maintains a position of different organs in the body. It functions as a primary supportive tissue of the body. Other important and the major function of connective tissue in our body are insulating, that means maintaining a temperature, help in binding the organs together, it protects against the invasions of pathogens and their phagocytic activity, provides shape to the body, conserves body heat and also stores energy. It involves in transportation of water, nutrients, minerals, hormones, gases, water, waste and other substances in the body. So this means that connective tissue is generally, it has these main functions. Okay, now let's go to another slide. Now we are going to talk about muscle tissue or muscular tissue. So they are involved in producing force and generating motion. Like we know that muscles are mainly used for walking and generating force, lifting objects. So muscular tissue also has a different function, same function, but it is a different kind of muscle tissue. Because most of your body's muscles, like heart, it is also muscle, but if you see, it needs more energy. So let's talk about their types also, either for the locomotion or for other body movement within internal organ. There are three types of muscle tissue. Skeletal muscle tissue, they are typically attached to bones. Cardiac muscle found in heart, or smooth muscle, visceral or smooth muscle, they are found in inner walls of organs. So now let's talk about functions of muscular tissue. So first is, muscle tissues are associated with their movements including walking, running, lifting, chewing, picking and dropping objects, etc. The other major functions of muscle tissue in the body are, so these things like lifting, chewing, walking, running, these are voluntary. That means they are performed by our wish. If I want to walk, it is my wish. But let's say heart beating, it is not involuntary. You don't, how do you cannot just tell your heart to beat. So it is involuntary, okay. Helps in maintaining in an erect position or posture, helps in constriction of organs and blood vessels, involved in both voluntary and involuntary movements, involved in pumping blood and regulating flow of blood in arteries, control respiration by automatically driving the movement of air both into and out of our body. So now let us just erase all of this and go to our next slide. Okay. So now let's talk about there's some main features of different types of muscles. First of all, this is skeletal muscle. You can clearly see its histology here, location and types of cells here, okay. And its features are fibers, striated, tubular and multinucleated. Fibers are this, striated, tubular and multinucleated. Voluntary it is, it is your choice whether to move this or not, and it is attached to a skeleton as the name suggests. Smooth muscle is non-striated, spindle shaped and uninucleated. It is involuntary. That means like in the walls of esophagus, they contract and relax to make the food go down. So that is also involuntary. It covers the wall of internal organs. That's why it's smooth muscle. Cardiac muscle is striated, branched and uninucleated. It is involuntary, highly involuntary, because it has to beat all the time in life and it does not require your it does not require your choice, okay. It has to do, otherwise you know what happens. Involuntary, and it only covers the wall of the heart. That's the only thing where it is found. Now let's talk about nervous tissue, okay. So nervous tissue they are the main tissue components of the brain and the spinal cord in the central nervous system. So the nervous system has two parts. One of them is central nervous system, while in the peripheral nervous system the neural tissue forms the cranial nerves and spinal nerves, okay. So there is peripheral nervous system and there is central nervous system. Let's talk about some of the functions of nervous tissue now. The nervous tissue forms a communication network of the nervous system and is important for information processing. The other functions of nervous tissue in the body are response to stimuli, that means response to what happens in surroundings, stimulates and transmits information within the body, plays a major role in emotions, memory and reasoning, maintains stability and creates awareness of the environment. This is also a function. Nervous tissue is involved in controlling and coordinating many metabolic activities. So these are some of the functions of nervous tissue. Now controlling and coordinating many metabolic activities mean like controlling some of the involuntary actions, because that's not that brain controls only voluntary actions, Brain also controls involuntary actions. So now let's go to our next slide. Next is very important tissue again, epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue are formed by cells which cover the external parts of body, organs and lines the organ surfaces such as surface of skin, the reproductive tract, the airways, the inner lining of digestive tract. Let's talk about functions of epithelial tissue. In the next slide, we'll discuss the types of epithelial tissue. So, plays a major role in sensory reception, okay, excretion, filtration, and other metabolic activities, provides mechanical strength and resistance to the underlying cell and tissues. It is involved in movement of material through the process of filtration, diffusion and secretion. This is one of its major functions. Protects the internal organs against the invasions of pathogens, toxins, physical trauma, radiation, etc. Epithelial tissue are involved in secreting hormones, enzymes, mucus and other products from ducts and transporting it to the circulatory system. So these are some of the functions discussed of epithelial tissue. These are some of the types of epithelium. You can clearly see different types. There is simple squamous, there is simple cuboidal, which is shaped like a cuboid, simple columnar, which is shaped like columns. Then there is transitional, pseudostratified columnar, stratified cuboidal and stratified squamous. These are some of the types of epithelium. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked the concept. This video is presented by Aashutosh Singh. Please like, share and subscribe my channel to not miss out any updates. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you very much.